I'm Misha, Adobe creator and producer of the Deep Dive podcast. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 21, and today we will be doing a deep dive into what is Steam. Okay, it looks like Grace and David have their snacks ready and are settled in behind the microphones, so let's get going.
Okay, think about this. Over 30,000 games. Millions, literally millions of users.
That's staggering, isn't it?
That's Steam, just a behemoth in PC gaming. And today on the Deep Dive, we're going to try and unpack this undeniable force.
Yeah, try to get our heads around it.
Exactly. Whether you've been hitting play on Steam for ages or you're just kind of curious about this platform that seems to be everywhere in digital entertainment, and you want to pull out the really important stuff.
And maybe some surprising bits, too.
Hopefully, without getting totally bogged down in, super technical jargon.
Right. And what's really interesting, I think, is looking at how far it's come from where it started. It's like the central hub for PC gaming now.
Uh-huh.
And our deep dive today, it's based on a pretty comprehensive overview of the platform. We'll look at its origins, its main functions, the store, your library, the community side.
How we actually use it day to day.
Exactly. And the workshop that's huge, where you can actually get Steam and, the good and the bad, the pros and cons.
Right. So the mission, basically, is to give you a clear, hopefully engaging picture of what Steam actually is, how it works, and I guess why it matters so much in the gaming world today.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start right there. What is Steam, fundamentally?
Well, put simply, it's an application you install, right, on your computer. But it's also this massive online platform.
Okay.
Think of it as your main place to buy games, download them, install them, and actually play them. But it's more than that, too. It's a place to connect with other gamers, like all over the world.
And stream gameplay, too.
Yeah, you can live stream your games for others to watch. It's all developed and distributed by Valve Corporation.
The company behind huge games like Half-Life, Portal. They know gaming.
Oh, definitely. And Steam itself functions as this internet-based system. It handles the digital distribution, getting games to you without physical discs.
Right, the whole download model.
Yeah, and digital rights management, or DRM, which is basically what controls your access to the games you own. Plus the infrastructure for multiplayer gaming online. And it's even a social network, really, connecting friends, communities. It manages, the whole life cycle of a PC game for the user.
So, yeah, much more than just a shop window. It's managing the games, connecting people. It really does sound like a sort of operating system for your gaming life on PC.
That's actually a great way to put it. And that digital distribution part is key. It's a virtual storefront. You buy, you download. That's pretty much killed physical PC game copies, hasn't it?
For the most part, yeah.
And the DRM ties those game licenses directly to your Steam account. So you build up this library, which is great, but your access depends on Steam being operational and you being logged in.
Okay, so digital purchase, account link.
Got it.
Got it. And the social side, how does that work in practice?
Well, it's a major hub for multiplayer and just socializing. You build a friends list. You can join groups based on games or interests. You can chat through different built-in channels.
Like built-in messaging.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Direct messaging right there on the platform.
Yeah.
So the core functions really boil down to buy and play games, interact with this huge player base, and share your own gameplay if you want to.
Gotcha. And just to be super clear, we are talking about the video game platform, definitely not, the vapor that comes off boiling water.
Hey, good point. An important distinction. Right, so how did this giant actually come to be? It wasn't always this way.
Yeah, I always wonder about the origins. Was it some grand plan from day one, or did it just kind of grow? Take us back.
Trade in your boring job for a brilliant career using Adobe Creative Cloud. Start learning now with the free trial link in the description.
It officially launched September 12, 2003, Valve Corporation again. But the initial aim wasn't this huge digital store at all.
No,
it was much more specific. Valve needed a better way to push out updates, patches for their own really popular games, especially Counter-Strike.
Okay. Patching.
Yeah, and also to fight cheating more effectively. So early Steam was mostly a tool for Valve to update their own online games.
So born from a practical developer need, not a consumer revolution initially. That's interesting.
Precisely. And gamers, well, they weren't exactly thrilled at first. A lot of skepticism.
Yeah.
Some even saw it as like a threat to PC gaming.
Really? Why?
A big issue was needing a constant internet connection back in 2003. Broadband wasn't everywhere.
Yeah, I remember dial-up nightmares. That would have been a barrier.
Definitely. Plus, there were early issues, server problems. The interface felt clunky to a lot of people. It wasn't smooth sailing.
So, constant connection, rough start. What changed? How did it go from being this maybe slightly annoying update tool to, well, what it is now?
2004.
Yep.
That was the big turning point.
Yeah.
Valve released Half-Life 2. Hugely anticipated game.
Huge.
And they made Steam mandatory to install and play it, even if you bought the physical docs copy.
Whoa, mandatory, even with a disc. That must have caused some argument.
Oh, it did. Very
Yeah.
controversial, but it basically forced mass adoption of Steam. And it cemented that shift towards online account-based licenses for PC games. That model really stuck after that.
Okay, so force them onto the platform with a killer app. Bold move, but clearly effective for growth.
It was. Then, 2005, we start seeing the Steam store look more like it does today. They started adding games from other developers, not just Valve.
Ah, opening the gates.
Yeah, games like Ragdoll Kung Fu, Darwinia.
Huh?
Those were some of the first third-party titles. That was crucial. It made Steam way more appealing beyond just Valve fans and started building that massive library.
Right, makes sense. Broaden the catalog. What was next?
2007 brought the Steam community features, another huge step. This added things people really wanted. Friends lists, community groups for shared interests, voice chat built in, even stat tracking in games.
So making it social.
Exactly. It fostered this sense of, belonging and interaction. Steam wasn't just a store anymore. It was a place to hang out and share gaming.
Yeah, that social glue is powerful. Makes platforms sticky.
Totally. Then came 2011, the Steam Workshop. This was another game changer.
For workshop. That's the modding thing, right?
Pretty much, yeah. User-generated content. It will let players create and share their own stuff for games, mods, maps, items, skins, you name it.
That adds so much life to games.
Incredible value and replayability. I mean, think about games that are still popular years later, purely because of workshop content. It empowers the community.
Yeah, huge draw. Okay, so workshop in 2011. Did it keep expanding?
It did. 2013 saw official support for Linux, opening it up to a new chunk of users, and they launched Big Picture Mode.
Big picture.
Yeah, basically an interface optimized for TVs and controllers,
Yeah.
showing ambition beyond just the desk setup.
Smart. Thinking about the living room. And more recently, hardware, right?
Yep, 2022, Valve jumps into hardware with the Steam Deck.
The handheld PC thing.
Exactly. Runs SteamOS, which is Linux-based, designed for gaming, lets you take a big chunk of your Steam library on the go.
So wow. From patching tool to software distribution, community, user content, hardware, the growth in sheer numbers must be wild too.
It really is. End of
Yeah.
2015, they already had over 125 million accounts.
Yeah.
By mid-2014, over 3,400 games. And now, like we said, over 30,000 games available. It's just massive.
Let's just quickly run through those milestones again. It paints a picture. 2003, launch. 2004, Half-Life 2 makes it mandatory. 2005, third-party games arrive.
2007, Steam Community. 2011, Workshop.
2013, Linux and Big Picture. 2015, 125 million accounts. 2014, 300, 400 games.
Present day, 30,000 plus games. And 2022, Steam Deck.
What a journey. Okay, so let's dig into what makes it tick now. The core features, this gamer's toolkit you mentioned.
Right, so the platform has these really interconnected parts. You've got the Steam Store, your Steam Library, the Steam Community, the Workshop, and Steam Cloud. Let's start with the store, probably where most people first interact with Steam.
Yeah, where you go to find and buy games. What makes it work so well with so many games?
Well, it's designed as that central place, obviously.
Yeah.
Valve's put a lot into making it user-friendly, easy to navigate, despite the huge catalog. You've got good search tools, filters for top sellers, new stuff, genres, specific features. Helps you sift through those 30,000 titles.
Yeah.
And it's not just searching. It recommends stuff, too. The Discovery queue suggests games based on what you play. Curator suggestions point you to games liked by people whose taste matches yours.
Right. And the wish list.
Trade in your boring job for a brilliant career using Adobe Creative Cloud. Start learning now with the free trial link in the description.
Can't forget the wish list.
Oh, yeah. Simple idea, but so useful.
Yeah.
Save games you're interested in, get alerts when they release, or, crucially, when they go on sale. Helps manage that potential backlog.
Dangerous, but essential. Okay, so you browse the store, you buy something. Where does it go?
It lands straight into your Steam library. That's like your personal digital shelf for all your Steam games.
Okay.
From there, you organize, install, launch everything. If you have a ton of games, you can make custom groups like by genre or finished or need to play, whatever you want. Helps manage big collections.
Organization is key.
And for storage space battles, there's the storage manager built into the library. Shows you how much space each game uses, lets you uninstall easily, or even move game installs to different hard drives.
Oh, storage manager. Yes, please. That sounds very necessary for a lot of us. Anything else the library does?
A really valuable one is Steam Families. Used to be called family sharing.
Right, I've heard of that.
Lets you share your game libraries with up to 6 family members. And the cool part is, everyone gets their own saves, their own achievements, their own workshop access, even on shared games.
Oh, that's great. So you don't mess up each other's progress.
Exactly. And within Steam Families, there are good parental controls too. Adults can manage which games kids can access, set playtime limits, approve or deny purchase requests. Pretty comprehensive.
Nice. Good for families sharing PCs or accounts. Okay, we touched on the social stuff. Tell us more about the Steam community feature. How does it actually connect people?
The community is really the social core. Connects millions of players. You have your friends list, obviously manage contacts, see who's online, what they're playing, block people if needed.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, but then you have Steam groups. These are user-created hubs around shared interests, a specific game, a genre, anything really.
So you can find your niche?
Totally. You join groups, coordinate playing together, chat, use group forums, and then there are the broader discussion forums for individual games and even for Steam itself. Great places to ask for help, share opinions, just talk games.
So it's not just playing solo. It's designed for interaction, finding people, building little communities.
Definitely. It adds that whole layer beyond just launching a game.
Okay. And let's swing back to that creative side, the Steam Workshop. What makes it so powerful?
Ah, the workshop. That's where all the user-generated content lives. It's this huge library of stuff people have made for games.
Like what kind of stuff?
Depends on the game, really. What the developers allow. Could be new maps, character skins, items, weapons, even total gameplay overhauls mods.
Wow.
Players browse it, find something they like, hit subscribe, and usually Steam handles downloading it and plugging it into the game automatically.
Simple as that.
Mostly, yeah. There's free stuff, there's curated stuff where devs have more control.
Yeah.
And devs often provide the tools SDK so people can create and upload things.
So they actively encourage it.
Often, yes, because it adds so much value, extends the life of games massively. Some games thrive for years just on workshop content. It's amazing community-driven innovation.
It sounds like it gives games almost infinite replayability, powered by the players themselves. Incredible. And finally, you mentioned Steam Cloud. What does that do for me as a player?
Steam Cloud is basically automatic backup for your game stuff. It saves your settings, your game progress, your profile stats, saves it all to Valve's servers.
Okay, so it's in the cloud.
Right, the big benefit. If you log into Steam on a different computer, maybe you're traveling, using a friend's PC, you can often just pick up right where you left off. Settings, saves, all synced.
Ah, that's really useful. No more carrying save files around on USB sticks.
Exactly. Makes your gaming experience much more portable and seamless across different machines.
Okay, that covers the core features. Now, imagine someone's listening and they're totally new. How do they actually get started? Buying, installing, walk us through it.
Sure. Getting started is pretty straightforward. First, you need games. You buy them either in the Steam application itself once you've installed it, or on the Steam website.
Right.
You use the search bar in the store, find a game you want, click Add to Cart. Pretty standard online shopping. In the cart, you choose Purchase for myself or Purchase as a gift for someone else. Then you pick your payment method, credit card, PayPal, loads of options usually.
Enter details.
Yep. Enter your payment info. You'll need to read and agree to the Steam Terms of Service, the legal bit. Then click Purchase. You'll get an email confirming it all.
Okay, standard e-commerce flow. Then what? The game just appears.
Pretty much instantly, yeah.
Yeah.
It gets added to your Steam library. You just click the library tab at the top of the Steam client.
And to play it.
Find the game in your library list. Click the Install button. It'll ask where you want to install it on your computer, maybe a few other settings. Let it download and install.
Depending on the game size and your internet, that could take a while.
Oh yeah, some games are huge. But once it's done, that Install button changes to play. Click that, and you're in the game.
Simple enough. What about managing games after they're installed? Uninstalling, checking files.
Also pretty easy.
Yeah.
To uninstall, just right-click the game in your library, go to Manage, then Uninstall. Gone.
Okay.
We mentioned the storage manager before that's in Settings Downloads. Good for seeing everything at once and managing space. If a game's acting weird, you can right-click it, go to Properties, then Installed Files, and hit Verify Integrity of Game Files.
What does that do?
Steam checks if any files are missing or corrupted and downloads replacements if needed. Can fix a lot of issues.
Handy.
And you can make desktop shortcuts too. Right-click, manage, add desktop shortcut, quick access.
Cool. So good tools for managing your digital hoard. Now let's dig back into that community side more. How do you really connect with people within Steam?
Okay, connecting with others. Your friends list is key. You can add nicknames to friends, only you see them. Helps if people change names a lot.
Oh, that is useful.
Yeah. You can mark people as favorites so they appear higher up in your chat list.
Yeah.
And if someone does change their name and you're like, who's this?
Mm.
You can usually see their past usernames on their profile.
Ah, clever. Helps keep track. What about bigger groups?
Steam groups are great for that. We can search for groups by topic or get invites. Some are open, some you need to request to join. Once you're in, you can use the group chat, post on their forums. It's good for finding people to play with, getting tips, just chatting about shared interests.
And the main forums for games or Steam itself?
You have the discussion forums. Good practice to search first, see if your question's already answered. But yeah, you can start new topics, reply to others. You can even subscribe to threads to get notified of new replies. Keeps you in the loop.
So lots of ways to interact, from one-on-one chats to big public discussions. Okay, let's revisit the workshop again, but from the user's angle. How do you actually use all that cool stuff people make?
Right, using workshop content. First, remember, the type of content varies hugely by game maps, skins, mods, items. It's up to the developers what they support.
Got it.
You access the workshop either through the Steam client or just a web browser, usually via the game's community hub page on Steam.
Okay.
Inside the workshop for a game, you'll usually see tabs and filters browse by most popular, newest, maybe specific categories like maps or skins. Helps you find stuff.
So you browse, find something cool, then what?
Usually it's incredibly simple. You just click the big green subscribe button.
Subscribe, not download.
Yeah, subscribe. That tells Steam you want this item. It then usually downloads automatically in the background and integrates into the game next time you start it.
Seamless.
Mostly, yeah. And you can manage your subscriptions too. There's a section in Steam where you see everything you're subscribed to, and you can enable or disable mods from there if you want. Gives you control.
Nice. Okay, and for the people making this content, how do they share it?
Creators usually use tools provided by the game developers, those SDKs we mentioned. When they have something ready, they upload it via Steam.
What's involved in uploading?
They need to give it a name, point Steam to the actual files, add a preview image or video so people know what it is. A description is good too, and maybe change notes if they update it later. And importantly, they control who sees it. They can make it public for everyone, friends only, or private, maybe just for testing.
So creators have control.
Definitely. The whole system really encourages this amazing cycle of creation and sharing.
Yeah.
It just keeps adding content and value to games, all driven by the community.
It really is a powerful ecosystem. Now, Steam is obviously huge on PC, but it's not just on desktop anymore, is it? Where else can you find Steam?
That's right. It's branched out quite a bit. Of course, you have the main clients for Windows, macOS, and Linux desktops. That's the core.
The foundation.
But then there are the mobile apps for Android and iOS. You can't really play games on them, but you can browse the store, buy stuff, manage your account, chat with friends, get notifications. Useful for staying connected.
So management on the go.
Yeah, and there's a separate Steam Chat app too, just for messaging. Then, of course, the big one is the Steam Deck from 2022.
The handheld.
Yep, handheld PC running SteamOS lets you play a lot of your library portably. It's been pretty popular.
I bet. What else?
There's Steam Link. That's technology for streaming games from your gaming PC to other devices on your home network.
Like streaming to a TV.
Exactly. Smart TVs, phones, tablets, even VR headsets. Needs a good network connection, wired or Wi-Fi. And lastly, they even have a beta version of Steam for Chromebooks now, running on Chrome OS.
Wow. Okay, so desktop, mobile for management, handheld, streaming, even Chromebooks. It's really spreading out.
It's aiming for ubiquity in the gaming space, for sure.
Okay, so with a platform this big, this complex, there have got to be upsides and downsides. Let's get into the gamer's verdict. What are the big pros of using Steam?
Oh, there are definitely a lot of positives. The sheer size of the library is #1 for many.
Yeah.
30,000 plus games, incredible choice.
Can't argue with that.
Frequent sales and discounts, the big seasonal sales, weekly deals. You can save a lot of money. The community features are strong chat, Groups, forums, user reviews add a lot.
Social aspect again?
Steam Cloud for automatic save syncing is super convenient.
Yeah.
Being able to download your games on multiple PCs is great. It's generally seen as a pretty safe platform, fraud prevention, Steam Guard security. Dedicated VR support through Steam VR is big for VR users. The workshop, adding all that user content, automatic game updates, no manual patching needed.
That's a lifesaver.
Multi-OS support is good. Windows, Mac, Linux, great controller support usually. And games often get long-term support on Steam. It's a pretty robust package.
That is a solid list of advantages. Okay, flip side. What are the cons, the drawbacks people run into?
Well, the social features, while good, also mean exposure to potential online risks, like scammers or inappropriate interactions, especially for younger users, even with parental controls.
The internet dilemma.
Yeah. Also, not every PC game is on Steam. You might still need other launchers like Epic Game Store, GOG, etc. That annoys some people.
Right. Launcher fatigue.
And remember, you're buying a license to play, not the game itself. Your access is tied to your account and Steam existing. Lose your account, you could lose everything.
Oof, that's a big one.
You usually can't trade or gift games once they're in your library. Sometimes DLC bought on Steam might not work if you bought the base game elsewhere. Some find the interface a bit dated in places.
Okay.
Downloading huge games can sometimes hammer your CPU. Older games might have compatibility issues on new Windows versions, using mods and VAC-protected multiplayer games. Big risk of getting banned.
Right, VAC bans are serious.
Customer service gets criticized, sometimes slow responses, unresolved issues. There's regional pricing and restrictions, which can be annoying. Gifting across regions can be limited.
Yeah, the region locks.
And finally, the big picture concern. Steam's market dominance. Does it stifle competition? That's an ongoing debate in the industry.
Okay, so definitely a mix. Significant benefits, but also some real limitations and potential issues to be aware of. It's not perfect.
No platform is, really.
Right.
It's about weighing those factors for yourself.
Right. So, as we start to wrap this deep dive up, we've covered a ton about Steam. What's the main takeaway here? The big picture.
I think the biggest takeaway is just how much Steam has evolved. From that simple patching tool to this absolutely dominant, multifaceted platform that has fundamentally changed PC gaming. How we find games, buy them, play them, connect around them. It shaped so much.
It really has.
We've looked at its core parts, its history, and that balance, the good and the maybe not so good aspects.
And it feels like even if you're not a huge PC gamer, Steam's influence is so wide now, it's probably impacted your digital life somehow, right?
Almost certainly. Its scale is just immense, which leads to a really interesting thought to leave people with. As we see things like cloud gaming, subscription services like Game Pass getting bigger, what does the future hold for a platform like Steam?
Good question.
Will it stay the absolute center? Will its role change? What's the next big thing going to be for how we get our games and build these communities?
Yeah, will it adapt or be disrupted? Lots to think about there. It's definitely not standing still, is it?
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
The gaming landscape is always shifting. It'll be fascinating to watch.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. I'm Misha, and let me send out a huge thank you for listening. If you want more content on gaming, education, or other fun stuff, head over and find me on YouTube. Link is in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next deep dive.